right, so we starting off the first series of the Real Dad interviews with none other than my father. Uh, so we're gonna start off by asking him the first question of the day, which is, "You are a dad, correct?"
Correct.
Yeah. So, would you say you know what you're doing as a father or a parent?
Now, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Grandparents, grandparents know more than parents. So, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So, the question of the day, and what made me want to start these interviews is, what's some advice that you would give a parent going through the pregnancy stage right now, or at least a father?
A father,
Yeah.
um, man, it's not about you. Um, Everything is about the mother and the child, and the reason I say that is because, you know, the womb is the incubator, and the woman is the one that's you help. I mean, but she's baking. And the ingredients, what you give her is what your output is. And if you're giving her love, understanding, kindness, tenderness, um, being communicative, and not giving her, not stressing her out, then you're in line for a wonderful, wonderful child. Um, just from my experiences, I just think that when your girl is pregnant, woman, wife, whatever the case may be, um, you know, try to be as understanding. You know, she could be emotional and cry at commercials. Well, so what? Make sure you have the napkins there with her to just try to understand them. But yeah, being understanding and as being as understanding as you can be.
And just so that people know, how many children do you have?
Five boys.
Five boys.
Five boys.
Well, five men
Five
now.
young men.
Yeah.
5 young men now.
So, going back to what I was saying is, what's some advice that you wish you would have gotten?
All by one woman.
Yes, all about one great woman. We're gonna throw that out there. So, yeah. So, what's some advice that you wish you would have gotten uh, as a father?
Wow. I've never been asked that before. Um, I've never been asked that, but definitely has went in my psyche of, man, I wish I'd have known this. Um, I wish I would have been told by a male, um, not as by a female, but I wish I would have been told by a male, um, or my father, about how to communicate to a female. You know, um,
Whoa.
how to communicate to your woman. Let's just put it like that. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm from Chicago, and we know how to talk to a woman. If you're trying to pick her up, if you're out on the street, you see her in the club or something like that. But how do you communicate to someone that's your heart, to your partner? Um, I wish I would have learned that earlier on. And what I mean by that is talking kinder, gentler, having patience, being able to know that you need patience and understanding and kindness and being in touch with your emotional state. Um, I wish I would have been told that. I wish I would have been told definitely about patience.
Yeah.
Being a parent and you know creating someone with someone else, you need compromise and patience, and it's not going to always be your way.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have been told that.
And that's crazy because we talk all the time about like being a parent and like things that I should look out for. You just giving me advice on stuff, and that has never that has never came up,
Yes.
which is wild.
Yeah.
What was your first thoughts leaving the hospital with your first kid? Because I know me personally, um, when me and when me and Bree left the hospital, we both looked at each other like, we've only had this kid for like 2 or 3 days, and they just sending us out into the wild, like into the world. We ain't never had a kid before. We don't know what we doing right now, and now we just got to buckle down and literally change our lives. Nothing is about us anymore at this moment. And then soon we got back to like it is about us because the more we love each other and make a happy household, it's better for the kid, better for Kai, better for all of us. So, um, yeah, man, what was your thoughts leaving the hospital with your first kid?
Um, leaving the hospital with our first child, which was little Nevo. Um, it was surreal. It was surreal and scary.
For the people, Lil
Um,
Nevo is a
oh,
junior.
Junior. Um, it was surreal. It was frightening, even though I didn't show your mom, uh, because back when we had our first one, they were just starting to implement car seats. Like all this was new, and at that time, I had to make sure I had the car seat, stroller, all this and that, and I did. And once we finally got him strapped in the car correctly, put your mom in the car, and driving, uh, it's like, man, what am I gonna do? Like, all I know is I got to protect them, I got to provide for them, you know. But how to go about that? How to go about that? I had no idea. But I knew that I was gonna try my hardest. I think I went and got a job. I think I started working at Popeyes or something like that. It was like, this is all that I know that people that had kids did. You went and got a job and started to provide, and uh, that was it. So yeah, Popeyes is my first job. Shout out to Popeyes.
All right, so with this question, you might have to think a little bit, but what's one song that make you think of like each of your children?
um, so with Lil Nevo, man, again back then, it was NWA, Eric B and Rakim, all them. So uh, it would be it's getting funky by the DLC. That's Nevo used to roll with me on that one. Freaks of the industry. Uh,
It's fitting.
I mean, right? It's fitting for him now. But oh, that Public Enemy, you know, all that there was riding around with me and Nevo. You anything J Cole? I mean, you introduced me to J Cole. I knew nothing about J Cole until you mentioned him.
That's the goat, man.
Uh, um, Demetrius, uh, like it's the song, 21, do something for me.
Okay,
So
Drake and 21.
yeah, he
Can
to
you
me,
talk to the
right,
objects for
Meek
me?
is he personifies that for me. Um, and then there's Love Is My Religion by Bob Marley. That encapsulates John Selassie for me. There's another one that's called Selassie is the Chapel by Bob Marley, and there's another one is Jah Love, Jah Love
Okay.
by Bob. Yeah.
Well, I know for me, some of the songs that definitely make me think of you is definitely anything Biggie. I guess I don't know why, but Ten Crack Commandments just make me think of you. I don't know why, but that just make me think of you. Uh, Eric B and Rakim, Paid in Full for
Right.
sure, and your go-to song. I feel like when we have any family function for you, I feel like you always tell us to throw on that Jay-Z lyrical exercise. And I mean, ain't it? it's a hard soul. I mean, anything Jay you can't go wrong with. So
Right.
I mean, that's just one of the ones I know when I come on. When that comes on, I'm just like, my pops would love to hear this right now. So that's the ones that I think of when I think of you.
Wow, good picks. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. They fire.
they are. But all right, on to like the last three questions. This one, this one is big. Only in father. I'm not gonna say only in fatherhood, but in fatherhood, um, we're kind of looked at as loners. Like in fatherhood, we don't have big friend groups like how mothers do.
Mm.
So this next question is: how do you feel like fatherhood changed your outside relationships, like relationships with friends and maybe even family members?
With friends, fatherhood isolated me,
Mm-hmm.
and for again, fatherhood isolated me because in the era that I grew up, I was born in the '70s, but I came up in the '80s. Uh, 85, 86, Chicago. I know you guys look at what's going on now, but there was more shooting, more killing. That was like the deadliest summer of '85, in between '85 and '90. Those were the murder years in Chicago. Even more now. Um, so me becoming a father in 1990 changed me. I didn't want him, my children growing up. I had a good childhood, but I was in the streets, so I didn't want my children uh, to go through, see, hear, or any of the things that I went through. So it isolated me from the people that I knew. Um, strengthened strengthened my family, strengthened the relationship with my family because I started to look at my brother Prentice more. He had three, two kids at the time, and so a lot of that I just copied and emulated what I seen him do as a father. What I wanted to do as a father, he was doing it. He was there. He interacted, had fun with the kids. Actually, took the kids, had the kids more than the mother. Well, I'm not going to say that, but I mean they were equally sharing the kids, and uh, there's nothing that he wouldn't do. So and I love that. I said, oh man, that's the type of dad I want to be. So I emulated that. Whenever I had kids, it was 10 to 12 years off, but when I did, that's who I drew from.
Perfect. I would say, as far as me, as far as friend wise, I would say, yeah, it definitely pushes you away. In my instance, I'm not gonna speak for everybody, but for me, it kind of pushed me away from friends only because you're so focused on getting getting what's ever in your household together, whether that's relationship wise with you and your girlfriend, relationship wise with you and your son, or just all three of you guys together. Um, it takes both parties, the woman and the man, a nice amount of time to realize that I'm not living the same life that I used to live. Um, I can't do the things that I used to do no more. For me, I was a person that was always on go. If my friends could tell me, "Hey, we're going to Michigan in 2 days," I'm gonna be in Michigan in 2 days
Right.
or something like that. And learning that quickly as a father, I want to say help me as a father understanding the new life I have to build and the new fun I have to build around my family and around
Absolutely.
the people that I see every day. I want to say that helped me a lot. And that's one of the things that kind of push your friends and everything away because you can't offer them the same you anymore.
Hmm.
And if you do, it's still very limited. Like they only get to see that side of you once or twice a year or something like that.
Hmm.
And I want to say, as far as family, it brought, I want to say it brought me closer to you and mom, even John and Selassie, way more, just because I get to see y'all from a different light now. Definitely you, because now you just kind of understand your parents more now.
Mm.
Like you don't understand the exact things that they was going through, but now you're able to give them way more grace because now you see that, hey, I'm not in their shoes, but I'm kind of in their shoes now. I understand that you can't do this, you can't do that. I understand why sometimes you'll be like, mom said no, it's no, because it's just like the battles you got to choose within the household are real battles and serious, and it's not even a battle. It's just you respecting your partner and respecting the things they say and how they feel. So now that I'm in those shoes and in those positions, I'm just like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And it helps you judge, for me, for me, it helps me judge you guys less and see you guys more as humans other than parents. So that's for me. So my next question is, what's something that you wish you heard more as a father? It could be, I love you, I miss you, thank you, I'm sorry. Uh,
Me being as a father, I wish I heard more.
yeah.
You're getting a raise.
Facts. You're getting a raise. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Hey, you want me to keep it
Yeah,
real?
you're getting a raise.
Money, money, money.
Right.
Uh, no, as far as a family unit, I can't say I wish I would have heard anything more. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm pretty self sufficient. So, it was all about working, making sure, you guys had what you needed. So, yeah, you got an extra check? Uh, yeah.
Facts. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that because when the finances is straight, I'm not gonna say that fix every problem, but it fix some problems.
Yeah.
It, at least give you time to relax and one less thing to stress about.
You got finances in the house, man. Things are being taken care of, bills is being paid. That's going to cut out, you know, 50 to 75% of you and your woman's disagreements,
Yeah.
period.
Okay. Okay.
You know, and I ain't talking about your woman being, a gold digger or nothing like that. I'm just talking about a straight woman that's busting 9 to 5, you and her, y'all humping, y'all doing what you need to be doing. Finance is good.
What has having children taught you about life?
Um, Life is serious, but don't take it that seriously. Um,
Okay.
it's taught me to be kind, to be nurturing, to be patient. Um,
Definitely got to be patient.
yeah. Anything that you're gonna ask me when it comes to being a parent and taking care of kids, patience is it. Understanding, being able to listen and listen to understand, not listen to give your next remark. Um, that's what I've learned as far as raising children and being a parent, not taking yourself too seriously and being able to learn from your kids. You know,
Yeah.
just like you're teaching them, they're teaching you. And what they're teaching you is they're teaching you more about yourself,
Mm.
you know.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
you know, being able to be patient, being able to understand and being able to learn. That's that's it. I've learned a lot from y'all. From all of my children, all of my boys. I've learned from each and every one of y'all more about you, more about themselves, more about a family, and more about myself, and more about your mom. Yeah.
Perfect. Um, what's a proud dad moment that you've had? Like an
Which one?
accomplishment you've seen either your children do? That'd be question A, and B. What's a proud dad moment you've had just like accomplishing something as a dad?
Accomplishing something as a dad, nothing gets bigger. Nothing's more important than watching you guys being delivered. The delivery process from your mother. That moment, I'll never forget it.
Facts.
It's like I'm talking 34 years ago. I still remember Nevo being born. I still remember you all being born. It's just that moment, and not so much more as you all being born. It's the resilience and the strength of what the woman goes through to deliver a child.
Yeah,
You just the respect, the love, the strength. I know I wouldn't want to go through delivering birth,
man. I
and
I tell all women that's a superpower. Y'all
that's
superheroes for doing that.
absolutely, man, absolutely. So that right there, it's not only a proud moment of me having a child being born, but it's a proud moment of just watching my woman, your mom, do that
Yeah,
squat birth, just the resilience and the strength to do that. I just the respect I have for her. That's amazing.
yeah.
Um,
Definitely. Shout out to all the women.
man, all the mothers, man, shout out, definitely. Vaginal birth, C-section, whatever.
Mm.
You guys, I don't want to go through it. And
No,
thank you, thank
I
you.
don't think men could.
Yeah,
I think that's why they put it on women because I don't think men could. Men would be like, yeah, nah,
no,
we ain't having no, we ain't having no kids.
no,
So
no, it's
that
not happening.
definitely a shout out to the women and mothers. That's y'all are superheroes. No matter what anybody say, y'all are superheroes. Y'all do
Facts,
have a superpower,
facts,
and y'all make it look so graceful.
facts.
Like even it being something just so mind blowing, you make it look possible. I mean, it is possible, but you just make it look like you was built to do it. What you are, and in our minds is just we can't comprehend
Just
what just happened.
right,
All we know is that's my son, but or my child coming out of them, but she really just pushed that baby out of
right.
her.
And then after that, after you deliver, after the afterbirth, after you deliver the placenta, the beauty, the beauty and the glow that comes upon a woman.
Yeah,
I know they sit there like, oh my God, look at me, my hair. Man, you are at your most beautiful,
yeah,
your most gorgeous. Once you deliver that child, once you get a chance to deliver that placenta and you lay back and you in that bed and you sweating, I'm telling you, ladies, you are gorgeous. And I
yes,
mean gorgeous to the standpoint of art.
godly,
Of thank you.
godly.
It's a celestial beauty
Yeah,
that you have. And
they just gave life.
it just gave life. I mean, how can you not be beautiful with that? So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
facts.
hats
Look,
off, applaud you and hats off.
no, really, y'all do
Absolutely.
need a round of applause because
Yeah,
it's something that doesn't get appreciated enough and just
absolutely.
get looked over as like, yeah, she a woman. She, of course. She got to have a baby. But there's so many complications
Yeah,
that comes with having a child. One, during the pregnancy, and two, during the birth. Like, so many things can go wrong. And I feel like as men, we take that for granted because we don't have to do it. We don't
right.
go through it. All we have to look, most men think that all we have to do is provide, but it's way more providing you have to do than just providing financially. You got to provide mentally and emotionally,
Yeah.
and you don't really know what that means until you have a child.
All right. Now for this question, this could go either way. I mean, there's a lot of people that like to give you advice when you're a father, but what's some of the worst advice you've gotten as a father? The worst advice I ever gotten as a father? Yeah. Wow. You're making me think on that one because I don't generally listen to people. So for me to ask for, I just don't. I mean, especially when it came to my kids. If you were my mother or my grandmother or my brother, and I wasn't listening, you could talk to me, but I wasn't listening. So, um, now that you're a grandparent, how do you feel about that? How do I feel about what? Being a grandparent? No, not listening to other people. Oh, I feel I made the right decision. Right. I mean, sure, someone could come along and give me, you know, something can give me advice, but how do I know what they did? You know, I don't. I mean, even more so, I don't care if their kid went on to become a judge. You know, how do I know how? Let me talk to that child and have that child tell me, yeah, this is what my parent did, because majority of that it could have came from someone. You know, it could have came from an inspiration of someone else. Um, you're my child. If you make any mistakes or anything that goes wrong, I'm the one that's held responsible for that. So that's like me taking the test. That's like me taking a college exam. This is what I'm going to pass, but I'm not going to trust the things that I've studied on. I need to go ahead and copy and look at someone else's sheet. And I don't know if they studied the right exam or not. I could fail. So if I'm going to fail, I'd rather fail on my own merits. So, um, again, I never really listened to anyone outside of my family who I felt had the best interest and wanted to see me, raise good kids. So I, uh, I listened to my grandmother, my mother, brothers, and that's about it. I didn't take outside advice. So you don't have any terrible advice you've ever gotten? No. Well, I take that back. I take that back. The worst advice, and I mean this in a way that people my age and you all can understand. So yeah, I'll amend my answer. The worst advice, the worst advice I ever got about children is to beat them. That's the worst, is to beat your kids. And I'm coming from a serious standpoint. I'm not joking. I'm not speaking to other ones. Man, beat that kid. We thinking of it, but to seriously, like, beat your kids. They need to do. That's the worst advice. And I didn't get that advice from family. I got whoop them, reprimand them, but beat them. I never really got from family, but I've gotten that from other people or advice like, oh, you got to beat your kids, and um, that was the worst uh, advice that I got. And from that, I took it in the first stage of parenting, and it's the worst. It made me feel like even till today, uh, a mistake that I did with as bad parenting on my part. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be some level of discipline levied upon our children. I'm not saying that, but at the level that I came across, and children my age that came across being disciplined, I felt is wrong. Um, going to school, learning some things, learning more of going through the experience of raising children. I learned really how to talk to my children versus, you know, going with the punishment of some kind of apparatus, a belt or extension cord, all that type of crap that I came along with. Um, I had to break that cycle and started learning that these aren't some horses or chickens or an animal that you can't reason with, that you just have to use some kind of device to rear their behavior. You can sit down and actually talk to them and let them know what it is that you are requiring from them to behave, and they'll get it.
Yeah,
They'll get it. So, yeah. Now, to answer that question, I would say to beat your kids.
I agree. I agree, and I feel like that's one of the things that's more so embedded in our community because that's something we had to one endure during slavery and everything, and it's just the effects of slavery. But I do feel like we are getting out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
We are in generations that are looking at it now as like, nah, we don't need to do that. There's better ways to parent, and
yeah,
there's better ways to get your point across. So
absolutely.
yes, um, even now it's a big thing with gentle parenting and stuff like that. And I feel like as a parent, you just need to experiment because what works for somebody else may not work for
It
you.
may not work for you.
It may not work for your child. All of our children aren't the same. We all aren't the same. Um, and in my opinion, one of the hardest parts about parenting is coming to a common ground about how you want to parent.
Facts.
One, just because we all, like I said, we all don't come from the same place. We all don't see things the same. Our perception of life and parenting is very different. Even if you think you and your partner are soulmates and that they had a great life and you had a great life, there's some things that still have to be tweaked for you to just meet in a common ground. Because everything isn't going to affect everybody the same way. You don't know the things that you might do as a parent to your child that might trigger your spouse into thinking that that's not how you should be parenting. Or
Right.
she or him, she or he didn't like that while they was growing up. So it's just I feel like that's one of the most difficult things about parenting. Um, what do you think is one of the most difficult things about being a father or parenthood? It's cold.
Um, you're right when it comes to a partner. But that's where compromise and raising children come in together. That's where you get the the ideology from the mother of what was her upbringing and what does she look at as a form of discipline. Maybe she comes from a background of, well, we did time out, we did this, and you came from maybe a more, we talk, we not going to repeat, this is how it's going to be, and let's get it carried out. So you have to be able, you've already knocked out the things that you didn't like when you were coming up as a parent. So you say, okay, I'm going to amend this, but I'm going to add that. And it's up to you and the mother um, to come to a compromise and to say, what works. And like you say, there's no rule to say, all right, if you do it this way, mix it up, because each
Right.
child is going to bring you a different scenario, and you need to be able to adapt to it.
And each stage, I feel like You
Oh,
have to change.
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Each
yeah, yeah,
stage, what you
yeah.
did when they was 5 to 10 ain't gonna be the same thing you're gonna have to do when they 11 to 16, and then 16 on up.
And
And I ain't even
so,
got there yet.
something that one thing that I've learned with your older brother, well, I mean, with your younger brothers, that your mom and I didn't enjoy with you all. We've enjoyed the process of watching them grow. See, when we had you guys, we were young. We were young. We wanted you guys to hurry up and grow up so that, I mean, you guys went everywhere with us. You know, when we came along, you know, when you asked me about bringing your brother home from the hospital, he never left our side. You know, our parents didn't watch our kids. You know, if they did, it was for an hour or two, and it was to go do something they wanted us to do. You know, so we were again when you say did that pull us away from friends or whatever? Yeah, because we couldn't go out. You know, 19, 20, 21. You know, it was all about going out partying. Shoots, man. We in here changing diapers, coming home from work. You know, so um, those are the things that we did, and you know, you guys went everywhere with us. That's why you all move around. You're well traveled because if we was traveling, well, nobody gonna watch y'all. You had to go with us, and after a while, we got so used to it to the point where your grandparents started saying, "Okay, we'll watch them. We see that you guys are doing okay." We're like, "We don't need you now."
Yeah,
You know, we got them, and so you know that was that. But um, your mom and I remember that, and you know it's a struggle,
yeah,
and so
it is.
with that, that's why we are the way that we are now. You know, we are. If we ain't working, really, we'll work it out as far as childcare, what needs to be done. We'll make it happen. You
Yeah,
know, there's we never want you guys to stress about that,
yeah,
and you know that's what we've always looked at. You know,
yeah.
like oh yeah, we're gonna. No, we also
Facts.
want you to feel what it is to have your child now.
Yeah,
You know, you need to know, be able to get up in the morning, change them diapers, but
yeah,
for the most part, you shouldn't, we don't want you feeling stressed about working or whatever. You need, you know, somebody to watch our grandson. We got him. He's, again, our grandson.
and that's one of the things me and Bree like commend both sides on, her side and my side, on y'all actually being there for us, especially during the beginning months and year. I mean, we still in the beginning years, but like them first couple months out the hospital, like y'all was really there for us, even though y'all wasn't even here. Y'all was a couple hours away, but like y'all still made it a point to, like, if y'all need help, if y'all need just some time alone, because we know how it is, just drop them off. So honestly, right now, I just want to say thank y'all. Thank you, Mama Bo. Thank you, Pops. Thank you, Mom. Thank y'all for
You're
helping
welcome.
us out in that time, because we really realized, and this is one of the things that we like to stress to new parents, bro. It really take a village, because like no matter how good you think your mental is, how prepared of a parent you think you are, you gonna need that time to step away and just recenter yourself, ground yourself, and get back to like, I am a person outside of my son or my children. Like, I do still like these things. I do still want to go out and have a great time with my partner. So I just want to say thank y'all, man, because
Yeah, for sure.
it was definitely, we still are benefiting from it, and it's something that a lot of people take for granted, and that some people never get the chance to experience.
Thanks.
So yeah, we do appreciate that.
Thanks.
Thank you, thank y'all. So this last question is, what's one lesson you hope stick with your children forever?
What's one lesson that I taught you all that I hope just stick?
Yeah,
Love one another and be loyal to one another. family loyalty and love and trust is something that's paramount amongst families, not just ours, any family. Love and loyalty and trust amongst you all. Period. Um, that's something that I feel the loyalty and love of the family dynamic has been fractured. Not just here, but I just think in our community as a whole. Our grandparents understood that when they were coming up from the South, they would get a place, help, reach, and bring other family members from the South who was trying to escape the South for whatever it was. And they kept that togetherness and that tradition going. And we kind of lost that. You know, we started going to school, we made money, and we forgot about that struggle. Not that I want you guys to struggle, but one thing that my grandmother always told me is that family is family is family. You love family, you take care of family, and you be loyal to family. And that's something I've consistently tried to teach you guys, my children. Love one another, be honest to one another, and be loyal. Nothing's more important than the family. So that's it. If I don't have any other, if I can't drop off generational wealth or anything like that, but that's a gem towards building generational wealth with the family. Um, yeah, just love family, be loyal to family, and trust family.
Perfect. Um, what I think one of the biggest things that I think I've learned from you, which would be like the biggest thing that sticks with me every day, is probably, and you probably gonna think this wild, and that I probably never caught this, but giving back to the community, like giving back to your community, the community you're in, and that you've been around. Because as a kid growing up, I know we used to see you get all the kids together, go play football, run the block party, do a Halloween party. Even when you had the club, like you was still giving back to the community. And I don't know why, but that just always stuck with me as like, even now when I'm thinking about doing other things with my business, I'm like, I want to give back to the community. I want to make sure people that's less fortunate
Right.
don't have to always struggle or go through certain things that we can help out with, like basic necessities, or people are putting so much money in my pocket. Why can't I help them?
That's
So
good.
stuff like that. And one that's less like business related, I would say, is just be observant. Watch everything.
Facts.
Watch everything.
Facts.
Watch everything. And you ain't gotta let this goes along with it. You ain't gotta let everybody know you watching everything.
Right.
And that sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most scary.
That's a
That's the
fact.
one you gotta worry about.
That's a fact.
So, and I'm only shivering, y'all, because it's cold out here. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say,
Which is not Florida weather, but
yeah,
catch us next week. We'll be out in shorts.
facts. So I'm gonna say that those are the things that definitely stuck with me. Yeah.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to drop that gem off. I mean, definitely caring about your community is essential. Again, that's just something that I've learned from my family, my grandmother. You know, we've always sold things, always had stores, and you know, whatever we made, we made sure if someone was less fortunate or a homeless person came by, anyone that's hungry, if you're hungry, we're gonna feed you. Period. You're not gonna be around us and be hungry or be shirtless or be clothless. We will clothe you. We will feed you. That's just how I grew up. And again, it's just perpetuated, or I wanted to perpetuate that throughout my family, and it seems like I have. That's good. That's it.
And that's it, man. Thank you, Pops. This was amazing, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.